At 17, I ran away from home and decided to visit my grandmother. The only problem was that she was visiting her daughter 2,800 miles away. It was 1979, and I made the trip to California from Maryland in just 75 hours by thumb. I didn't run into any trouble along the way, that is, until I got to California. A couple of old men had tried to grab me, and one said he wanted to take me home. I decided to get off the highway and walk on a dark back road for a little while. I began to get weary, and I needed to rest. When I saw a car coming, I stuck out my thumb, and he pulled over, nearly hitting me. I got into the car, and almost immediately the driver asked me if I wanted to smoke pot and get high with him. But when I told him I wasn't interested, he seemed agitated by my response. He began telling me things about his personal desires that made me uncomfortable. I was ready to get out of the car almost as quickly as I got in. We approached an intersection, and when he stopped, I opened the door, telling him, "Thanks for the lift, I'll just get out here." But he grabbed me by the collar and pulled me back in, telling me, "Stay in the car, please. If you try to get out again, I will cut you into pieces." He succeeded in scaring me. I wasn't sure if he was sincere or not, but I wasn't going to stick around and find out, so I started planning my escape for the next time he stopped. He pulled over to a dimly lit service station closed for the night and said he was getting out to relieve himself. He warned me again, "Stay in the car, or I swear I'll kill you." He had my attention, and I was going to get out as soon as he turned his back. He looked back at me once, then turned and walked away into the darkness. I opened the door, and I ran as fast as I could, staying down the hill from the main road so he couldn't see me. I made it to the freeway, and I kept running down the shoulder. I kept looking back, and I saw his car a few minutes later, but he drove past me, probably because traffic was quite heavy, despite it being about 1 a.m. I didn't hitchhike for a while, and returned back to my aunt's home a couple of days later. Eventually, my uncle sent me back home to Maryland, and I moved on with my life, not thinking much about those threats. Nobody believed me anyway. 15 years later, they were talking about the upcoming execution of the freeway killer on the news. They said he killed about 21 or more young kids in late 1979 and early 1980. I didn't think much about it. That is, until they showed his mugshot on the TV screen, and I froze. The freeway killer was William Bonin. And as soon as I saw his face, that memory from February in 1979 came back and haunted me. He was the guy who threatened to cut me into pieces and to kill me if I tried getting out of the car again. I began researching the freeway killer to find out more about him, and I found a couple of eerie coincidences between my short time with him and what transpired after I escaped. He had bought a Ford van, and he disabled the inside door handles so that none of his victims could escape from him again. Bonin's first victim was a young teenager. His name was Thomas Lundgren. They found his body on the side of a freeway. He was partially clothed, and he had been cut to pieces. His body was discovered in May 1979, just 3 months after I had escaped from Bonin. In doing more research, I found out that Bonin had gone to prison for the kidnap and rape of David McVicker. David had told me, upon his release in October 78, Bonin proclaimed that he would never leave a victim alive again. To think that just 3 months before killing his first victim, Bonin had told me that he would kill me by cutting me to pieces.